I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. I smack my girl's ass, tell her pinch me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Ooh, welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. It is Jimmer and myself, Danny G, in the house tonight. And here's what I got to kick things off this way, dude. So,
yes,
you've seen the shit coming out about Caleb Williams, right? About what he is going to demand once he gets drafted.
I have. Before I let you go on your rant, let's build it up a little bit, right? Okay. Didn't it start? Well, first off, if you go through his history, he started, of course, at Oklahoma. Then he moved on to the sunshiny state of USC. We all hit it under Lincoln Riley, right? He followed his coach.
Right.
Okay. High-powered offense. Then we heard his dad speak out about, well, if it's certain teams, he'll just stay in college, right?
Yeah.
Stay in college. He makes more money there than he would and reckon his career with said teams. Bears being one of them.
Yeah.
What's the next
So
saga?
The next bit of this saga is he wants an ownership stake in the team that he gets drafted to. Like, it's getting so fucking out of control for these kids, man. They're like, I was on board with them getting paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The NCAA was ripping them off for the longest time. But to come out and say you want ownership, even 1%, I don't care if it's 1%, you don't deserve it, dude. You haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
You can't come in and demand that type of shit. You put that in your real contract after your rookie deal, right? Like, okay,
right.
I'm going to come in, I'm going to fucking make my statement, I'm going to prove who I am, and then when you pay me that max contract, that's when I'm going to throw that in there. You don't do that before. You haven't earned a damn thing, man. It just pissed me off when I saw that. I'm like, these entitled fucking kids, man. It's so bad.
And I think Rio warned us about that, right? He's talking about the nil part when we one of our our first year we went heavy into nil, right? Because it was a cream of the crop at the time. He basically warned us in so many ways about this, right? Like how this would do, and that is exactly what is starting to show and rear its ugly head is entitlement. Entitlement before you prove it. Now, a lot of old school players have talked about this decade or so ago, or even more, you know what I mean? Saying these players don't have to prove anything. They're giving it right away. I think Jordan's talked about that too, you know, like they're given their shoe deal right out of the gate before they do anything. They're given a $100 million contract or $80 million contract right out of the gate. They haven't played a single, and in some cases they were high school players, you know, they haven't done shit. Played minimal games in college, maybe even so. You know, like a Kyrie played 5 games in college or whatever it was, 8 games. And this is where we're at. I really can't. I cannot believe that he has the audacity, the thought. This isn't even swag now. You actually believe that you deserve ownership of an NFL team. Tom Brady, in some people's minds, a lot of people's minds, heavy majority, is the GOAT, right? Greatest of all time.
Yes.
Did he get ownership stake when he went down to the Buccaneers and brought them a Super Bowl, like even before he signed with them?
No.
Did he? It wasn't going to. Kraft probably would have given him some because Kraft loves him. It was Belichick that actually kind of stomped that one out, right?
Yeah.
What is he now finally doing?
Finally getting some ownership in professional teams. So he's like a part owner of the Vegas
Raiders.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yep.
No, that's not what I was thinking of though.
You're thinking of another sports?
No. Yeah, a different sport,
yeah.
Not the NFL. The was it the women's basketball team that just won the championship? Because I think that was the thing. Like he got another ring.
Yeah, and he's in soccer too.
Yeah,
I saw that one too come across, right?
Yeah.
but I do believe he's in around the corner here with the Raiders.
There's something going on.
There's something going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the restriction is, what's going on there, but regardless, he's using his hard-earned career earnings and advertisements that he's done after he's proved it his whole life.
Yeah.
You know, his whole career. And to ask for that ahead of time is insanity.
Yeah. We've seen so many guys ball out in college and just look like the next big thing and not do shit in the NFL. Who's to say you're not going to be that guy, dude?
Right.
It doesn't matter. We all think he's going to be great, but we could be wrong.
We could be. Let me play devil's advocate with you then.
Okay.
Okay. We talk about, and I just said that players get these $80 million deals, like right out, especially top 10 picks, shit like that, especially if you're a quarterback, whatever the position is, for never proving it on a Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Never proving it, never stepping on not playing against NFL talent, right? NFL teams, I should say, not NFL talent. Would a little slice of ownership maybe actually make you work a little harder? Because, not maybe work harder, but the product you put on the field, the more stuff you sell, the more money you're going to get too.
I don't think so, man. The NFL is in this. It's almost free money. If you get into ownership, that shit just rolls. And the teams are worth so much money now, so much more money now, rather, than even 4 years ago. There's no way. It's just guaranteed to just roll and roll and roll and make more money, right?
No matter if your team's a shit dicker.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The Falcons are worth a fucking shitload of money, right? Like, doesn't matter the team. They're growing, and they're growing every year, even if they put out a poor product. The Bears are worth more money, right? The Cardinals, it does not matter.
True, but wouldn't they take off even more? Like, you'd never see, we talked about this, right? I'm still trying to push on you. Still trying to push. You'd never seen a Arizona Cardinals hat around this area until they went to the Super Bowl. They had one magical year, right?
Right.
You sell more stuff on those when you're winning, when you're balling, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at. And then, technically, did you see, I think, I don't have the article up right now. I was looking just before we started airing, but the tickets, and this may be more likely for like other sports other than the NFL, okay? But the Chicago Blackhawk tickets have fucking skyrocketed because of their new rookie, Bedard, right? I'm just saying. And he showed some potential already. He's played, a few games. I don't know. I think he has a goal. He has some goals already. My point is maybe it makes you work a little harder because you get a little more of that cheddar cheese.
No. Nope. I think that could be a smart tactic. It's kind of like, Kirk Cousins changed the game. Now quarterbacks are getting guaranteed money, right? Yep. I think this could be an idea, and I don't know if they've thought about it. I don't know if it's something that anybody's tried to do, but put that in your contract. Like, I want a percentage stake as well. Like, you know what I mean?
After you proved it.
Yeah, after you proved it. Yeah,
you're just set on. I am set on the prove it part. I am.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to play devil's advocate with you. Okay.
Yeah, I get it, man. And here's something else, and this just kind of hit me. You mentioned Lincoln Riley. I'm starting to just get a really bad taste in my mouth about him because it's not only Caleb with that entitlement shit. We know another guy in the NFL that is seemingly super entitled, right? And didn't he come from that same system?
You talking about Baker?
Well, yeah, he's
Kyler.
Yeah.
You're talking about Kyler.
Yeah.
I think he sees talent and he takes it no matter what. Like, I don't know if I'm a Lincoln guy either. I think he'd probably be a douche. How he left Oklahoma was kind of shady. Like, he didn't even try to give them the offer. They already were paying for stuff there, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I understand it's USC versus Oklahoma, but I'm telling you, like, Oklahoma takes football pretty goddamn serious. Maybe they would have hooked you up. You don't know.
They didn't miss a beat, did they?
No.
They
missed 1 year. They had one down year, right?
Yeah.
And then they go 6-6, 5-7, something like that?
Yeah, it wasn't even like
it wasn't even like a torrential fall off,
or something,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know why? Because they don't fuck around, right? They know what they're looking at. And they know what a real coach is. I don't know if I'm a huge Lincoln Riley guy. I think he is down for athletic and tremendous quarterbacks no matter what. no matter what the cost is. And he doesn't care if they're pieces of shit or how they comment or how they carry themselves. Are you winning me games so that I can pad my contract, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's kind of where he's at. But you did set the stage for me. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. My rant is thank you, Jesus, because you touch on the Caleb part, right? Caleb in USC, if you did not notice, got bent over by Notre Dame. And I'm not talking, and this is a rivalry, right? Long time rivalry. They got demolished by Notre Dame. Every aspect. Homeboy had, 3 interceptions? First time in his career that he's had 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
They fumbled the ball even when they were trying to come back at the end. I think they fumbled the ball 3 times. It was so horrendously bad. And
slow clap.
that is to Notre Dame, and thank you for hopefully opening the eyes of the rest of the college football community. The Pac-12, everyone was like, see, everyone's trying to put them in there. They're so good, and everyone's trying to put them to bed. And it's too bad that it's their last year in a conference and blah, 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 blah. No, the Pac-12 is still the Pac-12. What a lot of people won't talk about is that they had one of the highest rates of transfers, like seniors or junior seniors or super seniors coming in at quarterback. I talked about this with and I like Michael Penix Jr. I liked him when he was at Indiana. He is a super senior. He'd be like his 3rd or 4th year. What did I tell you earlier? 3rd? Mm-hmm. No, they'd be 3rd or 4th year in the NFL had he been able to come out and gotten the draft placement he wanted, but he blew his knee out in Indiana, right? You are literally starting 4 or 5, 6 year guys. And that's when you start a quarterback at that, you're basically starting an NFL style-ish quarterback, right? I mean, the experience is definitely there for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
You had Bo Nix, you had Michael Penix Jr., you had DJ Uiagalelei or whatever. You have the Arizona one that came in. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I can't remember if Washington State's was or not either. But all these teams took this huge ass spike, and we had to hear about that, right? Like, at the end of the day, motherfuckers, you still can't play defense. And that's what showed. Defense, even half-ass defense, can win you championships if you have an offense to back it up, if you have a half-ass. A great defense, they're not going to compete with. I even told you this, maybe I'm getting a little cocky or whatever, however you want to put it, but I honestly think Alabama could beat USC because their defense doesn't fuck around. They just played Notre Dame and got smacked up.
Yeah.
They play no defense.
Right.
And they play no defense. They are soft. That's the reason why the Colorados of the world, on both ends of the spectrum on that, right?
Yeah.
Dion, on both sides. You came back on them and on these Pac-12 teams. You've also gave up huge-ass leads. That's because you guys don't play defense. Defense optional, and that's the reason why they're always highly entertaining. It looks like you guys are balling out. Thank you. I want to say thank you because everyone came crashing back down to earth. We saw Michael Penix Jr. go ahead and take care of business against Mr. Bo Nix in Oregon, right? We got to see that and bring Oregon down, which looked like the cream of the crop of that conference, right? Maybe Washington, we'll see. There's still plenty of football left. And then USC lost. Thank you. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
So, but okay, you touched on Washington, right?
Yeah.
If there's a team in the Pac-12, and maybe Utah could be this team too, but that plays a little defense, I feel like Washington's defense isn't terrible.
It's not terrible, but saying it's not terrible is like we used to say this all the time. It'd be like Iowa State's defense of the Pac-12 is the cream of the crop of the Big 12. Sorry, of the Big 12. It's good defense, and sometimes can be very good, but it's definitely 100% beatable.
Yeah.
Against you know what I'm saying? Like their best defense is that. I'm not saying Washington doesn't, and they have traditionally produced some damn good NFL talent out of Washington on the defensive side of the football.
Right.
Right. So I'm not fully against what you're saying, but Texas, what is the difference now than whatever has been, right? Is that they play a little more defense this year than they ever have. They have some more talent on every level, right? Especially the defensive line. Well, then That's kind of, but that's still, were they really ever going to be good enough to face? We'll find out. They go to the SEC next year.
Yeah.
Everyone puts the SEC way high up there. I'm going to tell you right now, if Michigan doesn't win a national championship, I'm going to be shocked. They look like the most cream. Like, they would have smacked up USC even harder than that. I truly do believe that every level, like their backups on backups are stupid athletic. You seen that? Who was it? Nebraska? Was it Nebraska's or it was someone's coach that brought it up? They're like, kudos to them. He's like, they didn't just beat us up to beat us up. They had their third and fourth strings in, and they didn't miss a beat. That's how talented they are.
Yeah, and we're used to seeing shit like that with Bama, right?
Right.
Their third string, fourth string, fifth string, like, are all better than everybody else. Like, in Michigan, man, be nice to bring one to the Big Ten. We'll take that. No, I just brought up Washington as like the lone example in the Pac-12 that actually plays a little defense. So maybe they could make a little more noise. But I get what you're saying, man. Everybody else is just soft as shit, and they score a lot of points, but they give up a lot of points too.
That they do. I'm gonna look real quick. Pac-12. Yeah, Utah's already lost the game, right? They all have lost the game except for Washington. And we'll see with Washington. They've only allowed themselves. Now, mind you, this is what I'm getting at. They've only allowed 89 points, which for the Pac-12 is pretty sexy, right?
Yeah, 6 games, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, who are 2-5, right? Do I have this again? Do I have this right? They've allowed 85 points, Danny.
Okay. What?
Pac-12. Hawaii isn't Pac-12. And they're, I'm just saying, like, if that's your cream, and it actually isn't. It's actually Utah, like you said. They've only allowed 42, 48 for Oregon. I think most of those came against Washington, right?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm getting at. In a real, we'll say in the stronger conferences, the Utah one's impressive, 42. That is. I haven't looked at it. I don't know everyone that they've played, but like a Georgia is allowed 67, right, in the SEC. I don't even know what Michigan has. It's
fucking 20.
31.
Like, yeah, they're
Buckeyes have allowed 27. The Nittany Lions have allowed 26. The Hawkeyes have allowed 67, same as Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone keeps saying, "We'll wait until USC and UCLA and these schools go." Is it Washington that's also going there?
I think it's Washington, yeah.
And another one going to the Big Ten. I'm like, they're not ready for defense. You're going to find out. Like, you guys are. I would like to go. Yeah,
it's gonna be fun either way.
Well, that's their conference scoring. I should say that was their conference scoring. I take that back. All those were conference scoring.
Okay.
Points against. Michigan's allowed 47 overall.
That's insane.
That's stupid, right?
Yeah.
Let me go back to the Pac-12 real quick for actual overall. Overall, Oregon's allowed 95. Utah's allowed 73. That's overall.
That makes more sense. A little over 10 points a game for Utah, yeah.
Yeah. USC, on the other hand, has allowed 210.
That's fucking insane, dude.
Colorado, 251. 251. But, yeah. Danny G, I have a huge question. This is like, we're going to find out where our friendship is almost at this point, because this turned into a question at work accidentally based off of another question. Okay? Danny.
Oh, man.
Is a documentary a movie?
Is a documentary a movie?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've never really thought about that.
Go by feel. What's your first instinct? If I ask you, is a documentary a movie? If you think of a movie, is a documentary a movie?
I wouldn't.
Don't go technical term. Don't think technical.
No, like a documentary could be a movie, but in general, I wouldn't consider it a movie. No.
So you kind of stayed on the fence. Documentary is not a fucking movie. Stop it. This turned into a passion project, right? This is stupid. At no point have you ever asked anybody over to your place, whether it be a girl that you're trying to Netflix and chill, Have you ever asked a dude like, hey, you catch this movie? You want to come over and watch us? Whatever your scenario. You go and ask that. We'll say you ask Sam. Ask your wife. Sam, we want to watch a movie tonight? Yeah, I'm down for that. You guys sit down on the couch. You strike up a documentary. What would her question be to you?
She'd be like, this isn't a movie. Right?
Or she would ask you.
Yeah.
I thought we were watching a movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
At no point is that a goddamn movie. Like, I can give you context to this, right? The reason why it even became something like this. It was an innocent one, and you can answer this one if you like. I was asking this dude, I was like, hey, how long do you think you could watch movies straight through? I mean, you get up and go to the bathroom, of course, but literally you're not doing anything else. You're watching movies. How long can you watch movies? He's like, I don't know. Well, I guess it depends on if I'm watching a documentary. I'm like, stop. I said, well, I didn't even say stop. I said movies. He's like, yeah, documentary can be a movie. I'm like, motherfucker. All right, now we're derailed. Now we're going this way. Excuse me. When I said, how long can you watch movies? Do you think you go on a documentary fucking marathon? No, you're not going on. No, stop. You're watching like Harry Potter's, or you're watching. You're going through. Jesus, like the Spider-Mans or the
Matrix,
the Avengers, Matrix, whatever the scenario. Mm-hmm. You are not watching no fucking documentary when someone asks if you're watching movies. Right. That's the reason why I got irritated. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, well, I didn't want to fall asleep, so if I fall asleep, then it'd ruin it. I'm like, you can fall asleep on a movie. He's like, yeah, but I will on a documentary. I'm like, a documentary is not a movie. I said movies. That means movies, something that you enjoy, pure entertainment. I'm not saying documentaries can't be entertaining, but they're very, very factually based. That is not a movie. It's a film. I know a movie is a film too. We went down this big old rabbit hole. Trust me. We did the search, the technical terms, all that. I'm like, I don't care what you're saying. Don't care. It's not called the movie festival. It's called the fucking film festival. Two different things. Because that's what he's bringing up. Like, they have documentaries at the Cannes Film Festival. I'm like, it's called the film festival, bitch. It's not called the movie festival. When you know how pissed off, like chick, I'm being serious. Yeah, you sit down. I'm like, hey, Leah, you want to have a movie night? Marv just had it. I'm like, Marv. I'm like, if you would have said movie night with your wife, and she's like, yeah, I can't wait. I haven't been able to really hang out. And you go fucking start up a documentary. What is she going to say? It's like, that's not a movie.
Yeah.
This is a feel thing. This is a feel thing more than anything, right? Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. It's not, you can go technical, you can look at the definitions, you can go down this rabbit hole, you can do the whole thing if you want to. Don't care. A movie is a movie and a documentary is a documentary.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on board.
Don't care if it's a subject of it or whatever you want to call it. It's one of the categories of a movie. Don't care. Netflix, literally, you go down the main screen. Movies, critically acclaimed TV shows, documentaries. Fuck off.
That's
with all due respect.
With all due respect.
We went through I'm actually getting more passionate about that than what I need to. I wasn't this passionate when we were doing it, but we did do like a straw vote, and it was clearly like 80+% said a documentary is not a movie.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Sam, I think she found like a TikTok thing or something. She found this documentary on Netflix called The Murdoch Murders or something like that.
Okay.
And it's about this like rich family down in South Carolina that basically got away with doing whatever they want and shit. It's pretty good. Pretty good documentary. Definitely check it out.
Was it a movie?
Not a movie.
Not a movie?
No.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, too, with documentaries, like usually there's more than just one like 2-hour block. You know, usually it's like a series or something like that, too. There's not very often that you get a documentary that is just a big block. Usually it's like broken up into a series or something. It's not a movie. So, no, I'm on board.
Another quick one for you. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Why not? And why not?
This is where you could get technical. This is off feels, Jimmer, okay? Just like what you just said.
This one's gonna be off feels too. This one isn't passion either. I don't go either which way, really. But I'm gonna give you something to stew on if you give me the right if you give me the right answer I want to hear, I'm going to give you something.
You can say technically because it's bread and then something in the middle. That anything could be a fucking sandwich, right? But no, I don't consider hot dogs a sandwich.
What, besides the meat, the hot dog meat, what makes it a hot dog? When you hear hot dog, hey, you want a hot dog from the game? What are you thinking?
Yeah, like a bun, hot dog, ketchup, shit like that. Yeah.
Well, it can go on a hot dog bun, or it can go on a hamburger bun.
It could.
You're not going to bite on it.
I'm not sure where you're going, so no, I don't think I'm going to bite on it.
So, okay, for context, since he's not going to give it to me, one of the guys, or quite a few of the people will be like, they're like, well, it's because the bun isn't split. I'm like, well, there's hamburgers that are like that. There's cheeseburgers like that. Like, yeah, no, but it is, more times than not, 99% of the time. Or I'm like, okay. Sandwich was the key question earlier, right? Like, what about Subway? Is that a hot dog then? They cut their bun not in half. It's just split like a hot dog. The bun, the bread is.
Yeah.
Right?
Fair point. Yeah.
So that's where I was trying to get you to kind of, because that's what a lot of them were saying. They're like, well, it's because the bun is, it's a bun, but it's intact bun. I'm like, well, a bun is just bread, right? It's like, it's baked loaf of some kind. That's what they make there, right?
Yeah, but also, like, hot dog is its own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a sandwich. Like, it's a hot dog.
It is.
You know?
It is. I'm not trying to oversell. I'm not trying to oversell this one at all.
It's just and I guess I don't really give a shit either way. But it's not a sandwich. No.
And then I got one for you. I'm gonna try to keep this one as PG as I can. Okay.
Let's go.
How do I put this without it's so hard because it is not the context. Damn it.
Just say it.
Does it? Okay, I will. Does it make you more gay? Which one makes you more gay? Taking it in the back or kissing?
Oh.
Kissing.
That's fucking awful, dude. That's all right. So
think about this.
Both of them are awful.
If you're straight minded, they're awful. If you're gay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You're probably in heaven. Either way, I don't care.
But this is two straight dudes here talking about this, so that's the context.
Yep.
God damn, man. So kissing, you're like looking in the eyes and shit, right? Fucking got some facial hair going on, stuff like that. That's awful. That's fucking so awful.
I'm gonna give you my answer after. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But the cream de la cream of being gay is taking it in the butt.
Is it though?
That 100% is.
Is it?
Yeah, 100% is. So by like a last second field goal, I'm gonna say anal sex. Okay, it's a close one. Both are awful, but that's what I'm going with.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna say, and you know how we feel. We've had the other discussion with Tyler countless times. Okay, I think it actually is more gay to make out with a dude.
I'm not saying you're wrong either. I don't know.
But
a coin flip, dude.
I'm going to sell you on it, though. I'm going to tell you why.
All right.
Is it not more intimate?
Yeah, definitely.
Way more intimate. So that is pure feelings. You're making out with someone. It's pure feelings going on. We're exchanging feelings. We're exchanging all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of reason why somebody could be taken in the ass.
I don't think.
No. I'm saying I'm saying dire life situations or whatever. They're down, fucking. Save life. I have no idea. There's people that just sell it.
It's gotta be shit, right?
It isn't just because you're gay. You like sell it because you're down. It's usually to make money, but you know what I'm getting at? A good old fashioned prostitute, whatever hole is like they don't want to make out with you. That's intimate. This is a business transaction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can take it that way. When you're doing the kissing, that is pure commitment and feelings, and that's almost like saying I love you without saying the words I love you.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I get you. Man, I just don't know.
That was
It's a toss up. I get you. Yeah, 100%. That's uncomfortable.
That's tough.
That's uncomfortable. Yeah. I can't get on board with either one. I guess.
Can't get on board with either one. Well, the conversations we have at work are just insane. It's just curiosity. You tend to let your mind roam, but hey, like we said, no, absolutely no knocking. I said plenty of family members I love to death and ride with are gay. So it's not a shot at them. I'm just asking which one is gayer. That's all.
Yeah. Are you gonna put this on the socials as a survey?
Not that one. I'm gonna put the other one on. I'm gonna put the documentary one on.
Man,
that one I'm gonna put in. Did I persuade you?
Maybe, man. Yeah, 'cause that's uncomfortable too. That's just like, I don't care what anybody does. Everybody can do whatever the hell they want, like you said, dude. There's no hate or anything, but it's not something that
right.
I'm not. I can't even picture that. Like
it's I don't want to anyway. Like, oh goddamn.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go through some picks for this weekend.
Let's do it. Let's get right back to the not talking that stuff.
And I gotta get you not talking me into making some picks too, because you fucked me last
How
weekend.
did I do this, Danny?
Because I wanted to pick the Jets.
No, you did not. You were just trying to make it.
Jets.
You were trying to make an argument, you son of a bitch.
And I just didn't pull the trigger, and I should have, man.
You should have. You would have looked like a genius. We do have one game already in the books. Jaguars, Saints. Jaguars ended up coming away with that. No thank you to Calvin Ridley. 1 catch, 5 yards. Thank you for that on my fantasy team. Really appreciate that shit.
What's up with our guy Derek Carr looking like ass all year too?
I don't know, dude. Have you seen some of these videos coming across? Like Jameis Winston's over there talking to like Alvin Kamara, and he's kind of like doing one of these, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, he's got to be saying, "Motherfucker, I throw interceptions into the world. This dude's fucking over here." He's like, I can suck it up too, you know?
Right. Yeah, 100%. And Derek Carr blew up on the receivers. They should have won the game, or at least tied it. I think it's a rookie. One of their guys, though, dropped a sure touchdown.
Oh, I saw Foster Moreau drops game-tying touchdown in the end zone in final seconds.
Yeah, and Derek Carr was just fucking and I think it was before that play, he was blowing up on everybody. And he addressed it, like, at the press conference after. He's like, I'm sorry, I lost my cool, blah, blah, blah. Like, here's the deal, buddy. I've liked you since you came into the league. Yep. You have been the worst quarterback probably to watch this entire year, man. He's been so bad. So, like, you have to own that shit yourself. Kamara fucking is back, right? He's
12 receptions, 91 yards.
Yeah, like, he's back. I still think the Saints can turn it around. There's so much talent on that team. I feel like they should turn it around, but Derek Carr's just been so bad, bro.
They got to get on. Like he said, I think I seen the same press conference. He was saying he said himself, him and the receivers got to get on the same page. You have too much talent at the wide receiver position anyway. You have enough offensive weapons that there should be no excuse there. Your defense might have been may lack here and there because they're getting long in the tooth, older, right? But you have plenty of offensive pieces. This shouldn't be. I know there's a transition period. You just got down there, but you're a pro, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But he knows what they got to face. My first one up. And I don't know how the hell this is a noon game. This needs to be somehow flexed. Lions versus Ravens.
Yeah.
5-1 Lions, by the way, and the 4-2 Ravens. The Ravens' leading rusher, by the way, is Lamar Jackson, not even a running back.
Well, I mean, they are kind of like the Niners, man. They've got the worst luck at the running back position. Mm-hmm. Always getting hurt, dinged up, everything.
Yep. Baltimore is favored by 3. This is at Baltimore. What are you feeling?
Yeah, I think that Montgomery injury is really going to hurt the Lions. I know Gibbs is a stud and everything, but I think that they need that Montgomery like power. Gibbs is more of that kind of skill guy who's going to go get a bunch of receptions and stuff. I think it's really going to hurt him. I think the Ravens take care of business, and I think 3 is probably about right.
Has he been cleared? He has been cleared. Okay. I was going to say, I know Gibbs has been banged up too. I'm not seeing him on the injury report. You said Ravens to cover?
Yeah.
I think this is that weird East Coast. This isn't me trying to hate on the Lions. It really isn't. I think it's that weird East Coast move where you go out there, crappy weather, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling the same thing. I'm feeling Baltimore. I'm borderline Baltimore guy anyway, but this is more like some weird East Coast type stuff. It's almost like when the Commanders weren't good, right? Like you go out there and you end up losing after you travel over there or something. It's just something weird. No science behind this one. It is. I'm going to roll with the Ravens too.
Right on.
And probably right at 3. I got Raiders Bears on the next one. Raiders 3-3 against them the Bears, but they are without their starting quarterback, I do believe. Actually, they both are.
Yeah.
Right? So
Hoyer and Badgett.
Yeah.
Right?
Is it going to be Hoyer?
Yeah.
It's not that O'Connell?
No, they said Hoyer.
I think I saw the same thing on the fantasy thing. Yep. This is in Chicago. Las Vegas has Vegas favored by 2.5. Over under 37.5. This is a shitty game.
It is a shitty game. First off, shout out to the Raiders for being 3-3.
Yeah.
Do you remember how hard it was to find a win for them?
Yeah.
When we were picking this, dude?
Yeah, I don't.
There's another team that is in a similar boat that I want to bring up in a little bit. But for now, I'm going to take the Raiders. Their defense is going to beat them up. The Raiders' defense has been good
there
lately.
It has been.
Yeah, give me the Raiders in an ugly game. I mean, I could see this being like a 14-10 type shit, you know? But yeah, Raiders.
Probably. Bears. God, it's a shitty game. You are right. The Raiders' defense has been has definitely been the catalyst to their 3-3 start to the season. The reason why I'm hesitating on this one a little bit is this also a weird feeling one. Badgett got sprung into it. Badgett has some potential. They had at least enough potential to drop some veterans as the backup, right? Now he's going in knowing he is, right, into this game. Maybe he can hit these receivers a little more consistent than maybe. I'm saying maybe. I have no idea. We'll see.
Apparently he's a baller, man. He owns like every D2 quarterback record, you know?
Yeah.
So I know it's D2, but I mean, maybe.
I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with the Bears on this one. At home, maybe they play up, maybe cause a little bit of a stir, controversy, you know, maybe something like that by them getting a victory behind Badgett. Raiders playing outdoors, we'll see, you know. This is going to be completely coaching staff type of game here. Make sure that if they have the right game plan and it's executed. Browns and Colts, my man. 3-2 Browns against the 3-3 Colts. I wonder if that's the team you were gonna.
No.
Okay.
Although it's surprising, yeah, for sure with the Colts. Another backup quarterback situation for both teams, right?
Mm-hmm. Maybe. He might be back, and I did want to touch on that actually. I found out more information about that. I don't know if you read into that.
I haven't.
Yeah, I got more information about that. If you want to, if you want to wait a second. Deshaun Watson fell on that thing awkwardly. The doctors miraculously, when he got looked into, like, because he's saying he was complaining of throwing pain. He couldn't make the throws, right? He's like, something doesn't feel right, you know? Like, he had already been checked out once. They said he was good. No, you're good. Then he goes and gets checked. He's like, dude, I can't make, like, watch me throw the ball. I can't make the throw. I don't have the zip. Something's right. He actually has a small ligament tear in there. In his rotator cuff.
What?
This is on Cleveland's fucking staff, brother. Yes.
What?
He has a legitimate, it's a small tear. I'm not saying it's a massive, like, end his year, but still.
Yeah.
They said he was good. And then he also said it got backed up by a second opinion, too. That's the reason why he's been missing.
Man, the team should have come out and said something then. They just made him look like shit.
No, of course, but there's no way they want to make their medical staff look like shit. Like, this is what we picked. Like, we wanted to roll. Like, That's the reason why he's been missing. There's an outside shot he plays in this game. You haven't seen something different, right? That he's not been called out yet, right?
No.
So there's an outside shot. If not, then yes, you're right. Battle of the backups. Where are you rolling then?
Yeah, Colts in this one. I think I'm going to go with, I think your guy, Mr. Pittman, might actually be able to do something. And Jonathan Taylor, we might see him like full bore this week. So I'm going to take the Colts.
Okay. I'm only going to do this because you went that way. Actually, I'm a firm believer of like the hype, like when you overexcitement after you pull off a huge upset. You tend to get let down the next week, right? I'm going to ride with the Browns on this one. Because that defense is stupid. That Browns defense is stupid.
Yeah, they are.
That offense wasn't doing anything. Which one was the bigger upset to you? Because I'm gonna go ahead and tell you it was them beating the Eagles, right? This isn't a question I'm asking you like for your true opinion. With all due respect.
No. When they beat the Niners, is that what you mean?
Niners, my bad.
Yeah,
Niners.
I was just a little confused. I was
Jets,
like, I don't know.
yeah. No, you're Jets.
I gotcha.
Niners, way more impressive, right?
Yeah.
Third string quarterback, backup running back. You have maybe Amari Cooper out there, but it's still Tyrod Taylor, who's never been known as a true like 300-yard passing quarterback, right?
Right.
That defense is stupid right now, and I think I like Minshew and everything, but he's gonna get a rude awakening. So I'm gonna ride with the Browns on this one. I don't think they're gonna cover the 3.5. I think it's gonna be a very close game. I'm talking 1, 2, 3 points, somewhere in that ballpark. I think it's gonna be ugly, kind of like the last one.
Agreed.
I got Bills, Patriots. 4-2 Bills, 1-5 Patriots. Buffalo's 8-point underdogs. I think the more important question in this one, Danny, is do the Patriots score more than 2 touchdowns worth of offense?
Yeah, here's this game worries me because we had these last week where it was like, oh, this one for sure is fucking this one for sure, this one for sure, right? I don't see how the Patriots could win the game, but I feel like they're going to keep it closer than that 8 points. Bills always do weird shit with the Patriots. Mm-hmm. Bills haven't looked good in a couple weeks. The Patriots are going to find a way to at least keep it close. So I'll still say the Bills win, but Patriots cover that.
Okay. I'm going to ride with you. Except for I think Buffalo will cover the 8. I got to jump on board at some point that the Patriots they're such a fucked up mess right now. You can't even, like, you corrected me on the one. It's like you can't even bank on their defense anymore. Like, what the hell happened? You can't even bank on the defense. The offense is so abysmal, and I'm off the Mac Jones completely. Like, this isn't the play calling. We can't do that anymore. We know Bill O'Brien is a decent, at bare minimum, decent offense coordinator. I watched where he was throwing these balls. He does not anticipate anything. He literally throws it right to these guys. Did you see his last interception?
A lot of touchdowns.
Who? Yeah, to the other team.
Yeah, exactly.
But
he's pretty good.
You seen the one where it's like the dude was open. His wide receiver was open,
yeah.
And he literally threw it. Maybe he can't scramble and throw at the same time. I have no idea, but that was a scramble to the right and right to the multiple times. He doesn't read anything. The play was open where he wanted to throw, but it was actually open 2 seconds before that. It wasn't open when he actually threw it because he stared him down. Bills by double digits. If it hits the over on the 40, it's going to be 30. It'll be 32-10 or something.
Yeah, dude. I think we're seeing a big reason that coaches should not be GMs as well. It's like almost a competing thing when you have both. And he's been so bad with personnel and not getting talent. Like the most talented player on that team is probably Ramondre, right? Or at least offensively. I know they got some studs on defense, but he doesn't get the ball enough. right? This is a whole getting the best player of the ball, and there's no weapons to do anything either. So even if the play calling was great, even if Mac was better and stuff, like how good would they really even be?
Yeah, I shouldn't give it all to even Mac, but I think I'm done with Mac. But I'm with you. Like this has been an ongoing thing for so long. Tom Brady, we've discussed this. Tom Brady's covered up a lot of stuff. In the last other half that has been covered up is usually by his defense. His defensive scheme, right? Yeah. He's been horrible at drafting for a really long time. Yeah. It's proven. That's been proven. Like, we don't even have to go down that road. It's been proven he's a horrible drafter. He doesn't know how to do this. Right. Right? The 3-3 Commanders play at MetLife Stadium against the 1-5 Giants. Washington is 3-point favorites at their house. Before you answer this one, think about this for 1 second. Sam Howell has passed for 1,500 yards already. 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. You're going to get the interceptions as a rookie, right? You're going to get that. Growing pains. In context, Josh Allen has 1,576 yards. Just so you know, same amount of interceptions. Touchdowns aren't quite there. Like Josh Allen has 13 versus 9, but.
Yeah, they've had some games where they've had to come back and throw the ball a lot more and stuff like that, you know. Man, I don't know if Saquon's going to be back yet. That's the only way I would really feel comfortable giving the Giants a shot, but I think Washington should win this game.
I'm picking. It's probably going to nip me in the ass. This is the division. Shit's going to get probably ugly, but I'm riding with the Commanders, man. I go with the defense as the easy part, but Sam Howell's impressed me a little bit. You know, he doesn't look like a full-blown rookie. You know what I mean? Like and if he is having rookie moments, you can tell that I think he's going to be a decent quarterback. They might have, we've said that many times over the last 10-plus years for the Commanders, right? But they might have actually found themselves a quarterback. Yeah. You know, and they have receivers. So it's only going to be better growth if they do stuff the right way from here on out, right? Magic Johnson and co. So Commanders. And easily by that 3. Yep. Even though it's a division game. Falcons. Buccaneers. Interesting game. 3-3 Falcons. 3-2 Buccaneers. Tampa Bay are 2.5 point favorites. Where are you going?
I wish I liked Ritter more. I'd feel way better if it was a different quarterback. But I still think the Falcons are starting to use their weapons. I'm going to go Falcons in this. They're starting to do things better. They're giving fucking Kyle Pitts the ball. They're not using God damn it, the running back enough. Yeah.
Bijan?
Yeah, they're not using Bijan enough.
No, he only has 80 carries. He has 5 more carries than James Cook of Buffalo.
Yeah.
So you're right.
It doesn't make any sense. So that part of it is a little weird, but they're starting to use the receiving talent. I think Ritter's just got to make some smarter plays here and there, but I do think they end up beating the Bucs. I think we saw Baker start to kind of do his downfall thing last week, and I think we're just going to keep seeing that. So, yeah, give me the Falcons here.
For a little bit of context, Christian McCaffrey and Josh Jacobs each have over 100 carries. So, I agree with you. Sometimes you just got to let it go, baby. Just let it fly. When you have a unicorn like a Adrian Peterson and like this guy, don't hold back. They held back on Adrian the first year too. Just let her fly.
Yeah, Algier hasn't looked great, so you don't need to keep giving him so much.
I don't know what the protection part of this is. I have no idea. I'm going Buccaneers though. Okay. This is at home. That's basically what I'm chalking this one up to. A little different weather when you're down in Florida. You know, a little muggier seawater. I'm gonna ride with Buccaneers in this, and I expect the over-under is 37.5. I wouldn't be shocked if this actually hits the under, like 20-17. Because they're playing some good defense on both sides of the ball, right? Yeah. And you had an interesting stat about the offense this year so far.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, the offensive scoring has been the worst so far in the season since 2010.
2010.
So it's.
I think they still had like almost half the league had workhorse running backs in 2010.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Exactly, man.
Okay. Then we got the Steelers and Rams. This could be a decent matchup, right? Steelers 3-2 at the 3-3 Rams, which means that the Steelers' terrible towels will be pretty heavily in that stadium. Rams are favored by 3. What are you feeling, Danny G?
So the Steelers was the team. I don't understand that they're 3-2. It doesn't make any sense. But they are, and this is what Tomlin does. So fucking, it's awesome. First off, because I'm just a huge Tomlin guy. But also, I did not realize the Rams are 3-3 too. That's another team. Like they're already ahead of. I think I probably had them winning 3 or 4 games this year. You know,
Yeah.
Like not looking good,
Yeah.
And they look way better than they did. This is basically a home game for the Steelers, but they do have to travel. I think that defense beats up the Rams. I think the Steelers come out with the dub and end up 4-2 after this game.
The Steelers end up 4-2?
Yeah.
Okay. The Steelers are doing this in spite of a horrible offensive coordinator. I don't know if you've seen the videos. The Chris Boswell.
Yeah.
You seen that one where he's coming in the locker room? He's like, no thanks to you. Like loud and clear. There wasn't like under his breath.
Yeah.
Right. Don't know why they saw Matt Canada. I have no idea. You seen the one where the walk-off touchdown where he's like all somber in the because it wasn't his play call.
Right.
Everyone else is cheering upstairs. In fact, once the dude to his right noticed that they were on camera, he kind of gives him a nudge, like, "Hey, dude." He's like, "Oh yeah," like Byron Leftwich has reached out to him, like, "Hey, I'm ready, willing, and ready to do some offensive play calling," basically saying, "Hey, fire that man," right?
Right. So keep this in mind. I don't know where you're going to go, but the Steelers' tight end is healthy, and they get their best wide receiver back as well. So 2 pieces they've been missing, 2 really big pieces of that offense. So just
huge
for context.
But you still have a horrible play caller.
It's true.
This one I'm actually this one's a tough one, okay? I'm going to take the Rams because of the travel. That's where I'm going to separate that one. Because of the travel, home game. This is really tough. You know I like me some Kenny Pickett. You know I like Mike Tomlin. I like a lot of their pieces that they have, too. I think they're going in the right direction, but I think they bring themselves back down to that 500 mark where they're kind of going to be fluttering around all season, I think, in my opinion.
Okay.
Let me see what your feel is on this one. Cardinals, Seahawks. This is at the Seahawks. Cardinals are 1-5. Seahawks 3-2. Seahawks are favored by 7.5 in a division game.
Yeah, Seattle by 14. That's it.
Stop it.
That's it.
What if Kyler comes out?
Seattle by 21. What the fuck are you talking about?
I actually like a little bit of it. I like the story a little bit. Seahawks by I'm going to say they don't. Yeah. Cardinals cover. Seahawks win, though.
It's the dumbest shit you've ever said.
That is. Stop it. Rams barely got to that 26-9. Take that touchdown out of the. Just calm down. Bengals, they lost by 2 touchdowns. Niners, they lost by everyone. Right? Okay, calm down. Cowboys, 28-16. They beat them. Lost to the Giants 31-28. Lost to the Commanders 20-16.
Yeah, you can't go too like at the beginning of the season this team was playing.
Mm-hmm.
They have not been playing since that Dallas game.
They've been banged up too.
That's fine. Call it what you want. They're getting worked over, bro.
All right. Actually, you changed my mind. I'm going to go over.
Thank you.
Will. It'll be the Seahawks to cover.
Thank you.
Thank you. No debate here. Packers, Broncos, 2-3 at the 1-5 Broncos. I already know where you're going with this, but let's go ahead and hear you.
This isn't even. I don't have to hate on anything. The Broncos are selling house. They're done. So Packers are going to end up winning this game. Jordan Love's going to look like he's really good again for a game. And that's it, man.
Is that necessarily a bad thing for us being Vikings fans, though? That maybe they get even more sold on him because he has a game like that? Because I don't know about you.
Maybe.
I'm not afraid of Jordan Love for the next 10 years, if that's what they get stuck with.
I'm more afraid of Justin Field for sure.
Yeah.
But
the potential.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, exactly.
I'm going to say the Broncos steal one here.
Ooh,
and they are selling house. I understand that. Green Bay has not been good in any way, shape, or form. Yes, I know I think a lot of the time they've been missing Aaron Jones, but this is the same coaching staff, brother. They have a lot of the same pieces minus Aaron Rodgers.
They have all the same
all
pieces,
except
right?
for Alan Lazard.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you're missing. You have all the young receivers that you guys said these are good enough for Aaron Rodgers. What is your problem? Defense is still the corner that thinks he's the best corner in the league out there. You have all that. They have played abysmally too, like very badly. I guess I'm going to be a homer this week. I'm going to go with the home team on this. Maybe a little pride for Russ and for some of those veterans that, because the end is coming to a near. You said that. They're selling house. They've already let go a bunch of their defensive players.
It's insane, yeah.
That's the reason why Jordan Love could look good in this game, but we'll see. Maybe could be pure Packer hate.
Could be.
Anything.
That's fair.
Chargers Chiefs. This is still a 325 game. 5-1 Chiefs, 2-3 Chargers. You gave me something very goddamn interesting earlier. What was your take?
Yeah, I think there's a real good shot that if the Chargers lose, that head coach is gone. If they start the season 2-4, the odds of making the playoffs is damn near impossible. It's really hard. Mm-hmm. That division, you're not going to climb above the Chiefs, right? And there's a lot of other teams in the AFC looking better than you right now, and you've got a stacked roster. My point was your boy, I should say Rio's boy, Kellen Moore, moved over there for that reason. He wants to be a head coach. That team is stacked, and as soon as he's gone, he's going to fill that role. He'll be the head coach. I could see that happening this weekend, especially if the Chiefs beat him up.
I'm with you 1,000%. I think that's also the reason why he went there. He saw the most talent versus the vulnerability at the coaching staff.
Yeah.
I play my job. I show how well we do. This dude is going to make bonehead calls. That's all I need to do. Like, I need to call the plays, whatever, and I need to create my resume, of course, and show what I'm doing. This dude's going to shoot himself in the foot.
Yep.
That's all I need, And I didn't really open my eyes to it yet because I thought that he would make it most of the season, but they got to flirt. I'm with you. They might have to flirt with the idea, right? 2-4, you fall that far behind the Chiefs. You have all that talent. You paid the quarterback. It's only going to get worse from here because eventually you can't pay these other guys because you paid so much to your quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So it'll start falling off.
Yeah.
Right? The Chiefs have looked. The problem is the Chiefs have looked so abysmal, and it's supposed to. It looks like by weather, it's supposed to be like about 63 degrees or something there. So it isn't going to be horrible, right? I don't know about rain and all that shit. If there's anything like that in the forecast, it's supposed to be a beautiful weekend. It's one of our last ones. They're talking SNOW next week in Iowa.
Damn it.
I'm going to go with the Chargers. Must win.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs just there's been something missing. Something isn't right. Something isn't feeling right. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to go on a bashing thing here. It doesn't, when you're watching them, something just doesn't feel right? And the defense is the only thing that's been really keeping, that's the reason why they're 5-1.
And the defense is really fucking good.
And their one loss was honestly probably could have been one had you just had paid your defensive tackle and he would have been there for that game.
Yeah, exactly. It was a close game.
And they run right up your hole, kind of like a fuck you, right?
It's scary when you think about it, man. You talk about the Chiefs being 5-1 and something doesn't look right. You could say the same thing about the Eagles. We talked about Baltimore earlier. They're not looking right, but they're 4-2. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of these teams up there, and they haven't even peaked yet. They haven't even really gotten their flow. Yep. So, yeah, dude.
I'm going to skip a game because I believe that's the game of the week.
100%.
Okay. So I assume you know which game I'm skipping?
Yeah.
Monday night game, 49ers Vikings. San Fran is favored at Minnesota by a touchdown. There's a pretty good shot that Christian McCaffrey does miss this game. Debo, I do believe last time I checked, is not looking like he's going to be playing in this game. Trent Williams that one, I don't know if that's leaning more towards a game time because he twisted his ankle pretty bad in that game, but he finished it off. He finished this last game they played. Did I sell you on any part?
I am, dude. Okay, so listen to this. 94% of the bets on this game are Niner bets. 94% in Vegas. That was like earlier today.
And if we believe in the script and the betting ish scandal,
yeah. So for that reason alone, the Vikings are going to win this game.
okay.
There's no, like, the Niners are the best team in football in my opinion. I know McCaffrey could miss. It doesn't matter. They're so good. They've got probably the best head coach.
But you see them losing back to back?
Oh man,
back to back. Didn't they get their chunk of money last week? That's what I'm getting at.
Man, I don't know. When there's that much heavy bets, man, there's no logic behind it. It's for that reason only that I want to say, like, I think the Vikings. Because it's also like Kirk in prime time,
right?
Which gives you another reason. There's impossible. He should not win. There's going to be something stupid, and the Vikings are going to win the game for that reason. That's it. That's it.
That's it. Okay.
I don't know why, man.
You seem pretty convinced.
I'm a Vikings fan, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm saying it because it doesn't make sense.
I kind of feel where you're going with this. I do. I'm gonna balance this and just go with the common sense part. Like, let's say the game was actually played and it's not skewed because bets and gambling and shit. Niners. I think it'll be a lot closer game. It will be close. The Vikings have played everybody close. Everyone thinks a 2-4 record and this, that, and the other. Like, actually look, and you will see that they played everyone tough. Their defense has gotten better from last year. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what the scores have said. I've watched it. I'm watching the game. It's different. But Niners, purely for, let's say, pure football, not gambling. Okay. I agree with what you're saying. But I also, if I want to counter it, I think it'd be difficult for the NFL to get the Niners to lose 2 games in a row. So there's but they'd like money too. So that's confusing.
Yeah.
Now.
Game of the week.
And I think there's some good games this week that we just went over. A couple. Actually, there's only like 2 other really good games. But this is by far the game of the week. Dolphins, 5-1 at Philadelphia. 5-1. Philadelphia is favored by 2.5, as what you should be when you're no matter what you are, if you're a good team, whatever, when you're at home. So you're basically getting that 3 is what you're getting, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yep.
Danny, where are you going with this one? Over-under is 51.5, by the way.
I would slam that over, by the way. Fuck. This is going to be like a 37-34 game. All right, so I'm going to preface this by saying the team that wins is going to be the team that has the ball last. Okay. I think this is going to be a lot of back and forth. I'm worried about Tua. This could be the game, like, we've been kind of waiting for something to happen. He gets maybe dinged up.
That's
They get after the quarterback, bro.
Yeah, they do.
And he's going to be scrambling for his life. I think McDaniel's going to have to get some added protection somehow back there for him. That's what I'm worried about. But with all that said, man. Yeah, I'm just going to say I'm going to go Miami. I think Tua, assuming they figure out the protection, I think he throws for like 500 fucking yards and just balls out. That secondary is terrible. If he can get enough time to throw the ball, they will do
weak
nothing.
Point, if there's one weak point with Philly is.
And you just bang on that weak point.
That's right. Get that G.
That's right. Get that G, baby.
This one is really tough. That's the reason why I said it is the game of the week, in my opinion. This better be entertaining. I hope this doesn't lay a dud on us. I'm going to... I agree with everything that you said. I'm going to go with the quarter flip on this one to the Eagles. I think he's going to clear his head a little bit because he made a horrible decision, was that last week, Jalen Hurts. Yeah. He was the reason, like, clearly that they lost that game. There's other stuff to go on, but you know what I'm talking about. He definitely didn't play his best game, nowhere near. He threw a horrible game-sealing interception. It just was not a good game. I think he gets that corrected. the homer, like I'm a ride with, but also the Dolphins out of Florida is, I don't know how I feel about that. Remember, like I think was it last year? I've actually last few years. I think they're home versus away. Points allowed for themselves and point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
is astronomically different. It's not even in the ballpark, right? I don't know about this year necessarily, but
yeah, wasn't that a Denver game in Denver?
Yeah,
where they hung a 70 burger?
They did.
Yeah. Little different situation.
I'm a huge Mike McDaniel guy. I've grown to I'm big on this guy. His press conferences, everything, right? But fuck him on one thing, right? What is that? Do you know what that is?
Nope, I don't think I do.
They were, and funny you brought it up and reminded me, that Denver game, they were a field goal away.
Yeah.
From breaking an all-time scoring record. All-time scoring record. That
72 is the record.
Right. Yeah. Stupid, right? Yep. Stupid. He was a field goal away, and they were in field goal distance. His reply was, we're not trying to embarrass him. At what point weren't you? Because a 60, 70-point burger that you threw up prior to that wasn't fucking embarrassing? You could have taken knees or something at some point? Like, I'm all for it. My point is don't say you're not about embarrassing them when you're already throwing up 70, right? Go get that goddamn record. Do not screw the fans. Do not screw your players for being in an NFL history book. Kick that goddamn field goal.
Yeah, I feel like that move was more of a, I got here, I could have done it. And I didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it, but don't do that to your fans. Don't do that to your players.
Yeah, he should have.
NFL history, Danny.
Yeah.
You kicked that fucking field goal. And shame on you can also do it the other way. Shame on the Broncos for not keeping the game a little bit closer so he felt like he should kick the goddamn field goal.
Right.
But still, that was your excuse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, come
definitely.
on. That is so bad. I'm like, was that where it was? You were trying to embarrass them? You don't think they were embarrassed by the prior 70 points? Yeah. One extra field goal so you at least owned a record?
You didn't want to beat him by more than 50? Is that what it was?
Is that what it was?
Like, come on.
But yeah.
Yeah, dude. There's going to be some good games this weekend. Hopefully, offense is on the uptick, man. I need to see some more points.
A few. I do like some defense, but it's been so weird. I told you my belief in this is purely because I think defenses have finally adapted. It is even gotten film on, blah blah blah. They've known the offenses for years. These offenses have been around for years, decades. Everyone's talking about like the Mac McDaniel system, the Kyle Shanahan. These systems have been around some version, way, or form for 40 years, right? Or longer. You may have little variations off of it, but it's still the same, right?
Yeah.
They're adapting to the rules, Danny, and I think we finally met that. They found what they can do, what they can get away with, and we are seeing more defense in a different way than what we're ever used to seeing. What we grew up to is like them popping and hitting each other and decleating each other, right?
Yeah.
They found a new way. There's more interceptions. There's more fumbles. There's everything's off of the timing. You know, like this is his tendency. You're seeing shit like that. Like, hey, when Trevor Lawrence bats his hair this way, he tends to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we're getting more into, the fine-tuned stuff. That's what I believe. I don't know if that's a fact. That's just what I believe. I think finally we're at that point. I don't know what the next league move will be to get the points up, but
yeah.
It's also a combination of the quarterbacks and stuff. We talked about that. We're in that weird transition where it's like you have some very, very talented quarterbacks, but a lot of the OGs are gone. And Aaron Rodgers is out for the year on top of that. So we have a very young core of quarterbacks coming up. I think errors are more likely, right?
Have you noticed this year too, like they're dropping a lot more guys into coverage. So there's way more zone, now than ever before. But like traditionally, like as Vikings fans, we know bend don't break, right? Mm-hmm. Bend. We give up a shitload of yards, and then people still score touchdowns though. Once they get in the red zone, they still fucking would score a touchdown.
It's so weird though. Danielle Hunter has 8 sacks this year. It's so weird that you actually have your defensive end rush the passer. That's also part of the Donatello system that boned us last year. He was pulling his best pass rushers to put him in coverage.
Right.
But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say is I don't know if you've noticed, but like, usually what happens in that bend don't break thing, which a lot of teams do, like once they get to the red zone, you change that. And then you're doing a little bit more man. You're trying to, keep them. Just don't let them get anything, and then they would score a touchdown still. Well, now they're still dropping into coverage, and so it's way harder to get that touchdown in the red zone. You know what I mean? Yep. Like they're bringing maybe less pressure, but they're dropping way more guys back. And it just makes me think, like, I think that's part of it. I think they're adjusting on defense on that side too, to where they'll give up a field goal. You can have the field goal. We're not.
Yeah, we're analytics. Or preventing the touchdown. Isn't this the offense's fault? Where who is that was huge on that? We'll put it to our old boy Mike Zimmer, right? As the head coach, I'm talking, and he's always be on top of his offense coordinators. Why don't you just go old school then? Run the fucking rock.
Run the rock. This is
get a workhorse.
Hey, that's it. You just solved it, right? Now everything's about to balance back, and we're about to have fucking workhorse running backs again,
right?
Because we're adjusting now.
Which
to
comes
the
back to the pay and all that stuff that was going on too.
Yes,
that's what you do to break that system. You have to have an end. It comes back to you can't have an average running back for that. That's what makes these guys special. You can have a guy that averages 3 to 4. You need the guy that averages 4, almost 5, and can take it to the house at any point and crush someone's spirit when they're doing it. Even if they can't do it, they're crushing them.
Yep.
A Derrick Henry smashing somebody out, right? This is where, that's the reason why, one of the multi-reasons that Brock Purdy looks so good. I'm not saying that he's not a good quarterback, okay? I'm not that guy that's saying he's only system. The system tends to work for a lot of quarterbacks. I'm not saying that he couldn't be successful outside of that. But what I do know is that I just told you one of the top 2 rushers by attempts is that man right there. And if you actually go to their team overall rush attempts, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Because these defenses know that they're backing off. They're trying to prevent the big play. And it's that take their soul. Run the ball.
Yeah.
Run the ball. This should be AP's time to shine. I don't understand why someone hasn't signed that man.
Yeah, get him back.
Like, hey, go ahead and chew them up, right?
Yep.
But
yeah, bring those guys in coverage up so we can get a fucking touchdown.
Yep.
Bring the score up. But you got anything tonight?
Ooh, there's always good stuff at my work.
Besides talking about making out with dudes.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. If you're not into dudes.
Yes.
Like if you're woman on woman, that's
yeah, whatever.
It is.
Everybody likes scissors.
Like I get it. Scissors. Jesus. Yes. So let's go with this one's gonna be real simple. It's gonna be built onto what I talked about last week about a schmoopervisor. Okay. So the reasons given why Boy Davis picked this particular person for the supervisor was, if you remember, and it came out many ways. So they gave like every excuse in the book. He had the titles before. We need him to move people. Where it's a supervisor position is to move the people. It is need a new voice. That's what we're trying to get out there. Change your culture. It doesn't matter. It was every excuse possible that you could possibly think. Right? Not one real good one of any kind. Now, rewind. What was that? 3 years ago. They had an open supervisor position. Okay. And that's when you've met Brian, I think, Frayne. He eventually became it, but they had one position, and they end up coming up with 2. That's what happens every time. But they end up doing 2 supervisors. One of the people that put in for that position was our little videographer that used to take care of some of our videos for YouTube on for 3 Gig. And Colleen, she put in for it. The reason they gave her for not giving it to her was she didn't have enough experience on the floor. And at that time, she had been there 3 years. This dude had been here 6 months. couldn't tell her it was, and then they couldn't tell her it was because they couldn't hang on that. Well, he had the title before. She's had the titles before in previous jobs. She had one over here at Michael's Foods. Every little part, just so wow. He welcomed this conversation because he put out this email. Basically, like I told you, did I tell you that? The bullying part?
Yeah.
Yeah, the bullying part. If you have a problem, you can come talk to me. We'll talk about it. That's his way of just trying to, he thought nobody would answer. She did. Made him stumble, bumble, and he tried to, I told you he's the ultimate dancer, and he like tries to dance around the question. Could not. He tried, could not get out of this situation, could not figure, he tried to say culture and try to take some of her words and turn it around in a different way. She wasn't allowing it, evidently. And she just kept reminding him when he tried to like flip it around on her that you welcomed this conversation. You invited it. You literally, that's why I'm here. And I'm telling you, it's not going to work because I've worked with the guy and he's not a good guy. And so actually, I think she said the words asshole is what she told all of us. It's not going to work. You welcomed it. Like every time he kind of get warmed up a little bit, like, no, you asked the conversation. You said you welcome the conversation every time. So here it is.
Yeah.
Made it, you don't see Boy Davis get too cringy very often or out of his element. I've had the mass ability to do that. I'm one of the very few. Right. And that's not like a bragging point. I really wish I didn't have to do that. I wish we used common sense, right? I really do. I mean that. There's some other people that have been able to, but it's been so rare. And to watch it happen. We had a meeting, a mass meeting with like where they go over the metrics of what's going on and sales and stuff like that. Kind of cool. I like to go to it because I actually like the numbers part of it. It isn't, they call it a town hall meeting. It isn't, I don't go there to bitch about anything. I actually want to see the numbers. I want to see where we're going. Like, what's going on? First time I saw this is how I know. This is how I know that she got somewhere, that she struck a nerve. Okay. He didn't bring anything up about that in any way. The new supervisor thing, blah, blah, blah. Awkward moment with the new schmob guy, supervisor sitting right next to him, like giggling like a goddamn schoolgirl every time that Boy Davis would say anything. Like awkwardly, I'm telling you, nobody else in the room was laughing. There's a bunch of people in here. Nobody else. And he's like, and then one of the times I think he actually caught, I'm like, I'm the only one laughing. Yeah, you weird son of a bitch. It ain't funny. Shut up. Maybe you've seen a smirk if it was half, maybe a couple people. There was no laughing and chuckling. This dude was. I'm so like, weird. It sounded more like, That's weird. That's a weird way to laugh.
Yeah. It's more like gagging.
But regardless, after this meeting, he literally, he doesn't get angry about it, but it's a sense of urgency. And that urgency is he looks at the two operations managers. Yes, you heard that correctly. Two operations managers, because we have two people doing the same jobs and they just do weird shit. We have that all over the place. Ask him and the HR person, do you guys have something going on right now? And they kind of hesitate because he like twists people's shit around all the time. You don't want to say you don't have something going on, right? You don't want to say you're not busy.
Yeah.
That's like he's that type of guy.
Jesus.
They're like, he even sensed that too. He's like, no, we need to have a meeting, like real quick, please. I think he even said please. I think.
Oh.
Pretty rare. I could be mistaken about that please word. And they're like, yeah, I got 15 minutes before they take 17 meetings a goddamn day. But the one thing about Boy Davis is his shit is so scheduled out. It really is. That's one thing that this dude is. He schedules his stuff. It's meetings. It's on time. It's blah, 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 right? That's what he does. This is an untimed, unplanned meeting out of nowhere on the same particular morning that literally maybe half hour before that you had just gotten into a conversation with said operator that had an issue with what you're doing.
Oh, man.
But that makes sense if you don't think about it, or all the excuses that you tried and the dancing and everything like that, the dancing around it. But it's awesome to watch it squirm. Must have struck a nerve. Interested to see this all play out. I told you I've been taking a backseat, just letting stuff happen, and it actually is enjoyable. I get to just watch some of this stuff,
not be involved.
Yeah, I was like, I gave her kudos. I'm like, kudos to you. You know, first off, I'm tired of being the one that tend to be one of the ones that actually say something all the time. Told you I'm not doing no more. I'm proud of you that you said something. Like, you have a leg to literally stand on this. You applied for it, and the excuse they give you for not getting it, instead of being honest, whatever the honest reason was, you just don't have the experience on the floor. But you hired a dude that had been there for 6 months or less and wasn't even signed off in the room that he'd been training in since day one, because they was predetermined what he was going to be.
Definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
If you don't think about it. Man, that's good. I need popcorn next time you start talking about that shit.
I'm telling you. I'm going to sit back. I'm just going to enjoy some of these. I'm going to start chalking them up here. I'm not getting so angry about it and passionate about it. I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to enjoy it too.
There you go. I don't blame you. Well, let's start to wrap her up, baby. So those of you beautiful people that found us on the interwebs, be sure to like, subscribe, share, the whole 9 yards. We really appreciate it. But where's the podcast available, Jimmer?
Anywhere and everywhere podcasts are available. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube. YouTube.
Let's go. And as you can tell, we told a shitload of stories tonight, talked a lot of shit. We would love to hear a story from you, okay? We want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, fantasy football, weird shit at work, whatever. All you got to do is go ahead and slide on in
to our DMs. And the very first one we want is a documentary, a damn movie. Okay?
100%.
Hit us with that answer, please. Let's get some comments back. Hit us with your story. We'll get it out. I like telling stories, so.
That's right, baby, because documentaries, first of all.
I enjoy documentaries. Just don't call it a movie.
Yeah. They are not movies.
That's ridiculous.
Let's just be clear about
Thank
that.
you.
But we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.